Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hit the like button, everybody out there. Like the video. We appreciate it. I hope people get notifications for this because yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody's going to want to know, why did the lawyer quit? And why did the lawyer quit in such a way that was like so damning? Hey, fake Diddy said hello. Now, before we get on it like that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the page, hit that notification bell, and we're going to get to it. Tapping in. So I'm glad you tapping in, because here they're not gonna let y'all get any information that come from me, because I'm not saying Diddy is a guilty man. So they don't want anybody on the internet saying that. They want everybody to go along with the program, and those people are getting rewarded with views and traffic. Anybody that's saying anything the opposite, they're trying to submerge their videos down. So as you can see, no notifications are flying out, really. Nothing. The reach is low. They're making sure of it. So if you know that, you know this is a dirty game that they're playing. What they're giving out is silent notifications. Well, let's keep it in perspective of what it needs to be. Now, what it needs to be is something really simple. Most people don't see it, nor they understand it. So you have to point it out to them in a way that it can, be galvanized by the masses. Diddy's attorney was originally, and the guy who they ended up coming on to the team, but Anthony Ricco, a black man with an Italian name, is definitely somebody to be leery about. He comes in looking like, like he works for the the Nation of Islam. And on top of it all, he comes in to a case that's already moving, where Marc is the lead attorney. Now, this reminds me of the OJ trial when Robert Shapiro was running the trial, and then Johnny came in and took over. And it caused a lot of confusion there with all the lawyers they had. OJ had the best defense team in the world. Each lawyer had a task, and they were very good at it, and they got a chance to implement what they wanted to do in their strengths. And that whole trial, the OJ trial. Now, watching that trial and where we came from, the trial was completely different. The trial was impeccably different. That trial was built on a lot of issues outside of a trial. By them airing the trial around the whole world, we were able to witness the whole fallout of that trial. And they wanted to televise and make it a modern day lynching of a black man for the whole world to see. And it backfired because what people got to see, and by through the manna of heaven, manna from the gods that came down, and we got the Furman tapes. We got to see Mark Furman for what he really was. The LAPD was exposed. There were a whole bunch of Mark Furmans there. And all of these things were exposed thanks to Johnny. Robert Shapiro wasn't a litigator. He was somebody that comes in and cut a deal, and then that's that. And he tried to talk his client into taking some type of a deal and walking away. Johnny said, no, we're going to win this case. It was a rush to commit, a rush to judgment, rush to everything. They thought DNA couldn't be. It was basically a open shut case. They were wrong. A lot of people didn't understand DNA. It was new at the time, and it changed and rocked this world. Now, fast forward to now. You have another dynamic. Well, Mark, what's the name of Filiano, is running the case. And he was doing all right till he was doing interviews and not really doing well in the interviews and how he's delivering the message. So they hire Anthony Ricco to come join the case. So Anthony Ricco comes over with his bow tie, and he started handling the media. His job was to talk and give basically the black perspective with his bow ties, and he's giving his black perspective as to what's going on out here. Yeah, it's time to shave. So he wants to give the black perspective as to what's going on out there. Now, as he's going through his progressions, Anthony Ricco said, under no circumstances can I continue, is the only statement he said when he wrote to the judge after Anthony Ricco submitted a motion seeking to withdraw from the case. Now, the fact that he wants to withdraw from the case is very alarming to us. And the reason that is so alarming to us is because he's given no indication in the past or present or future standards that says, man, I want to get off this case. But I could tell from the dynamic, this was going to come to a head. He was going to want more. When he came out and spoke to the press, the media, he was under the impression that he will eventually be the head person and the point man in charge. After having a meeting with Marc Agnifilo, whatever his name is, Agnifilo, or however you pronounce his name, he realized this is not going to be the case. I'm not going to get the job. They want me to continuously help, but I want to be the face of this trial. That's not going to happen. And because it's not going to happen, and he knows it's not going to happen, he's unhappy. He's very, extremely unhappy with the scenarios in the situation whatsoever. So now you got a disgruntled employee. I know. He probably thought, because he assumed in his own mind, this is going to be like the Johnny Cochran, and I'm taking over. No, you're not. You had a role to do. They hired you for a reason. You didn't fulfill the reason for the hiring. So now, because things are not going your way, you're not happy. So now he wants out the case, but then he's setting it up as if there's a big mystery as to why he's leaving the case. Because he didn't provide a reason. And it's up to the judge if the judge is going to let him go, because when you say it's under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, a judge will have to grant you that motion before it's officially removed from the case. And by you not really giving a reason, Combs will still have 5 other lawyers on there. You know, Diddy got about 5 other lawyers defending him. You know, what's his name? Marc Agnifilo. So anyway, Marc is the lead. He is lead counsel. Nothing's going to change there. Okay. And he said he didn't want to divulge any information protected by attorney-client privilege when explaining why the request was so brief. He did note that he came to this decision after speaking with Marc. So if you spoke with the lawyer, you come to the decision after speaking with Marc, who's the lead counsel, you want off the case. But he also said this motion for withdrawal of counsel, if granted, is not going to delay this trial. If present schedule of the commencement of the jury selection for the trial, or to be present schedules for briefing of pretrials. As a result, there will be no lapse in representation, as Sean Combs will continue to be represented by his other 5 lawyers on the record. So just because this lawyer steps away does not mean what a lot of these people are trying to push. See, he knew Diddy was guilty and he can't be a part of that. You know, people saying got nothing. You think a lawyer give a damn about guilty or innocence? There's no damn lawyer out there that cares if their client is innocent or guilty. At the end of the day, the lawyer goes home and he gets paid either way it goes. Okay? The lawyer wants to know, can I win this case? If not, am I going to look good in this case? Out of the world, how many people are watching this? Okay? There have been lawyers that have defended serial killer families. And they be like, how can you do that? How you could defend that man? Mm-hmm. Ain't no party like a Diddy party. People have become robots. They become programmed. And they're following the same structure that they've always followed before. Let's tarnish Sean Diddy Combs and let's take his name out of the headlines. What did the court papers say? What is he being charged with? They amended, they put a superseding indictment, right? There are no other culprits added to this trial. How is it a Ricco? None of it makes sense. All because he went against the Democrats. All because he opened his mouth and spoke out about what was really going on and how he was not finna follow this trend no more. And he finna help brothers in the hood come up and get money. He wanted the blacks to be empowered. Oh, that is not the plan. No guy that they let have amassed this fortune is going to go back and help brothers in the hood. That's not going to happen. They don't want you to know. They want you to remain under the thumb of a system that don't work for you. And instead of saying, wait, man, we got to fix this system so that it works for us. Everybody's getting theirs. Why are we not getting ours? Because they don't want you to. The game was rigged for you to have nothing. At the end of the day, you just going to have enough to survive. Believing in the electional process, in the system, finding the right candidate. The candidate ain't never going to be right because the one that's running ain't repping you. Under no circumstances. He's not repping you. He's repping those who are keeping him in power. But what they need for you is your vote. And they say, thank you for electing me, but you getting nothing. Then they're going to say, hey, we threw a party for you. We threw a party downtown. You ain't go to the party? Yeah, Beyonce there. We had all these people show up. Yeah, it was a party. Nuts. Mm-hmm. And when a black man said, we need to get our own political party for black people, and he actually put it in play, and he launched a black political party called Our Black Party. And they came and shut that shit down.
You wasn't born Democrat. You wasn't born independent. You was born black. Mm-hmm. And we have to seize our political power because it'll just be more the same. Being pushed this way, being pushed that way, and we expecting a different result. Mm-hmm. But the definition of insanity is like doing the same thing over and over the same way, expecting a different result, and it's not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So we have to change the tone. We got to start with us stepping up and really taking the responsibility and accountability to be a part of this political movement.
The hardest part of that is going to be getting other black people to buy into it.
This is not for all black people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This is not for the scary ones. Mm-hmm. This is for the ones that want to move things forward and want to get to the smoke.
See? Exactly. This is not for scary people. If you scared, go to bed. That's what Diddy was saying. This ain't for the scary people. This ain't for all black folks. This ain't for the scary ones who running around here pushing this lying narrative that Diddy's guilty. Knowing that the evidence is being shown. Them the same people talking about Jay-Z was guilty. Knowing that this woman sat up there and completely lied on TV. None of the stuff she said added up. And you know what they did? They still ran their mouth and said that Jay-Z was guilty. Even after seeing that, they still went along with the whole agenda. That's a Chicago saying, baby. If you scared, go to bed. That's Chi-Town, baby. You scared, go to bed. Everything they said about Diddy that you hear on the internet, none of it is in the trial. None of it. No freak offs is in the trial. Except for these two women who were allegedly sex workers, paid to come in and perform duties, right? He said, I'm from the 313. They said, if you scared, go to church. Yeah, you're right. That's Michigan. Here, they said, if you scared, go to bed. You scared, go to bed. Diddy tried to change the narrative, and look what happened.
He spends an average of like 5 hours on Instagram a day. If you could give Instagram that time, 15 minutes you could give to educating yourself. And our Black Party's that platform. So when we get down to the local elections, when we get down to the school board, we get down to the judges and the justices, that's so confusing for us. We've never played this game. This is another level of gangster. But I played this game before, you know? I started in 2004 with Vote or Die, and this is the evolution of that thought, of that empowerment, of that independence, of us taking self-accountability, so we're not caught with our pants down like this election. Right now, we're not gonna get nothing. We caught with our pants down. We're not organized. We're not ready to really take this on.
Hold up, let me ask you, what's the difference between Vote or Die Diddy and Hold Your Vote Diddy? And what occurred between those two phases that made the change happen?
I went through the experience of politics. I played the game with the Democratic Party. The people that I went and campaigned for, after they got elected, I don't feel like they really did anything to change the reality of Black people. Like I was blessed enough to find God come to me and tell me my purpose. And he told me my purpose is to play a part in saving the Black race.
Now, when a Black man started talking like that and saying, I'm finna go here and save the Black race, I'm finna go save my people, and I'm finna do something for my people, you know what they did? They did what you seeing right now. So it ain't just the liquor company. It's the nigga company. They coming to get you. All them people, how you think Charlemagne's sitting there? The Democratic Party. So what you saying is anti-Democratic Party. So you saying Obama, Michelle, all of them, they didn't do a thing for Black folks? Oh, Diddy, you can't do that. Not without no protection. So you ain't got Republican protection. You ain't got Democratic protection. You got nothing. Nothing. And the Black Party that you had, that you was rocking with, they shut it all down. You're not going to be in position to tell them what to do. They going to use your own to strip you down. Now, your own people going around here talking about no Diddy. They got your own people running around here doing it. They forgot all the stuff you did for them. And all these so-called celebrities, your friends, none of them standing up for you. None of them 10 toes down. Everybody who started talking about black political parties who were celebrities are dead in jail. Every last one of them are dead in jail. Larry Hoover was in jail, was talking about we need to control the vote and control our own and be part, because he was getting all the gangs mobilized to go out, register, and vote. They couldn't have that. That's why they don't want convicted felons voting. Why? They're still citizens when they come out. They want to eliminate your vote. And if you could control the power of city elections, oh, buddy, you can control hundreds of thousands of minds. Do you imagine if Kendrick Lamar pointed at somebody and said, we got to vote, y'all. We got to come together and get him out of office. That person gone. Because it ain't just black folks that's going to vote. Kendrick got white, Hispanic, Asians, Indians. He got all these fans. So if Kendrick Lamar said it, they all going to vote. That kind of power scares white people. And since Kendrick isn't saying nothing like that, they haven't said anything, but they watching. They watching. So now, but all of that in tow, trying to make Diddy look as guilty as possible when the evidence has been provided in the case that turned over to discovery shows absolutely nothing. And it's like, why are we here? So all the stuff that they said leading up to this, in this case, everything that was supposed to be evidence of the sexual does not exist. All of it was fantasy and stuff all over the internet that they use to try to weaken the case so that the man couldn't have a fair trial. All of these things that was being allowed to go on social media, they were pushing it. Anybody saying their negatives about Diddy, their views was going through the roof. Once they thought I was talking negative about Diddy, my videos was pushed to the ceiling. But once they saw that I wasn't saying Diddy was guilty, oh, we got to submerge his videos down every time he says the word Diddy. He's not saying the right things. All of a sudden, my videos are not in the search engines anymore. Dr. King was assassinated because he was trying to infiltrate the unions, the Teamsters, the mobsters. Once he tried to infiltrate the unions, that's what cost him his life. He went down there to fight for those black people, and they were fighting to be part of the union and get unionized and get benefits. He went down there fighting for them. He was warned plenty of times that this was coming. And he didn't have protection from JFK this time. And JFK told him, like, I can't do nothing about this. Just, you can get out of there. You know, like, This ain't worth fighting for. This is the union. Don't even get involved in it. When he tried to call and get support and back up, because that's normally what Dr. King would call. He would call JFK. JFK would send people over there. This time, JFK couldn't help him. He told him, just pull out, because I can't send guys. And that's when he gave the speech. Like, well, y'all might have to I might not be here, but y'all gonna get to the mountaintop without me. He knew it was coming. He chose to still fight instead of going home. The unions were mistreating the blacks that worked in the sanitation business and everything else in the town. And while fighting the unions and they were striking, the blacks wasn't getting treated fairly by the unions and the benefits and the companies, and the unions there were not including the blacks and treating them like, less than human. And the mob and the CIA was running, the unions. So Diddy is not Martin Luther King, but as I told you, he took a stand. Everybody who took a stand and decided politically, we got to come together and do something, they're either dead or in jail. Huey Newton, right? Did you know Huey Newton went and got a PhD? His birthday was February 17th. Huey P. Newton, who said, we got to take a stand to what's going on over here in Oakland, and we're going to do it legally. They learned the law. And seeing how the police were back then and how they were policing that area with no justification and no justice, they rose up against racist police in that area. And you hear people now, they talk from a tone-deaf perspective when speaking on the Panther Party because they don't know anything about it. And it's insulting. Then they say, oh, well, Huey P. Newton, he died in a drug deal. That's all they tell you about him. They didn't tell you that Huey P. Newton got a PhD and was going to start a political party. Diddy has done everything the masters have asked him to do. Diddy carried a cross before. And he was not supposed to be in a video with Nas carrying a cross. The masters called and told him he better not be in that video carrying the cross. So when MTV premiered the video, they already had it set to go. He called and told them to edit the video, do not run it. MTV had the video ready to run. They ran it anyway. And it's the picture of Diddy carrying the cross with Nas and they both is on the cross in the Hate Me Now video. So, Steve Stout, when Stout actually really went and did what he asked to do, MTV just said, man, F that, we're running it. We already got the thing ready to go. We ain't got time to edit it. Man, just run that video, man. Nobody care what he says. They can edit it after, but the show is live. Like, the show is ready to go. So we ain't got time. It's not a tape delay. It's a live show. Run it. They ran that video. And once it aired, Diddy thought Steve Stout ignored what he said. And Diddy, in his rage, opened up bottles on Steve. Diddy is innocent of this situation. 100%.
The vote or die Diddy was about politics and, trying to be supportive. And also, they kind of guilt us in the votings, But as I evolved, I realized this is a business. This is a transaction. This is the closest thing to the streets than the streets that I've seen.
That's why I don't think there's nothing wrong with asking these politicians for something for your vote.
Yeah, you can't keep on giving your power away for free. This is black insanity. We keep on doing the same thing over and over, the same way, expecting a different result. Now we in a trick bag, as my mother would say. You know what I'm saying?
Explain that.
That's old Harlem hustler lingo, is when you're in a situation you're like in a catch-22 between COVID hitting us and because we weren't organized for this election. We have no choice now to get Trump out of there. It's a shame and it's our responsibility that we did not get anything out of putting Biden in the place he's in after the primaries.
He gave us Senator.
Now, let's leave that right there. He said this lawyer must have knew he couldn't win this case. Why would you say that? You see, that's what the narrative is. This lawyer got mad because he wasn't going to be lead counsel, and now he wants off the case. Now he want out. He don't want to play his role. That's like Robert Shapiro saying, oh, I'm not going to be lead counsel no more? All right, I want out. Johnny Cochran became the head. He became the lead. Because at first, they kept butting heads. So when you got 6 lawyers on the case, this is what happens. And remember, he was the last lawyer to get brought on. And he thinking he was finna come there and run the show. They got you there to talk to the media. Your job was to talk and handle the media. That's your job. You want more control. You want to be the lead attorney. You want to be lead counsel on this. You want to be the point. And that's not the lawyer's decision. That's Diddy's decision. So if Diddy said, nah, man, I got you on here, but you just do what Marc says. You on the team, but I need Marc to be in control. Marc got this. Now, if Diddy says Marc is the number one, because the client chooses who's going to be number one. Because Johnny and, what's his name? OJ had to go tell them and said, it's coming from me, Robert. You still on the team. But Johnny running point, you the two guard. The rest of y'all the power forward. You on the bench. He ran everything like a sports analogy. It's not a good look. Well, the look of it, if look is what matters, but that's to the public. It's not a good look. This is not a thing about an image. This is about a case. The evidence is what matters. What do you have as evidence? That is what this is about. Right. So when Diddy made all these statements, it got
Senator Harris is the VP. I mean, those are some of the things we were asking for. Black agenda could be way stronger, way stronger. He said he put a black woman on the Supreme Court. We don't even know if that's gonna happen now.
Hey, when you look at it, we don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about Biden. I can't say I love the pick either, but hey, we got to get him in office, and then we got to hold him accountable.
So how do we do that? In addition to voting, what else is Sean Combs gonna do?
From Trayvon Martin, I've been trying to figure out like how can we end this? Trying to think about solutions, because you could be angry and you could march, you could protest, and people could hear you, but that don't mean that they're making any changes. So for me, it was us looking within ourselves and saying, let's not wait for these people to come and save us. Let's not wait for the Democratic Party. Let's not wait for government. Let's own our politics. Black politics. We need to own that. We need to have a platform, an institution that's going to support and breed young Black politicians and social leaders that have integrity, not just in the quiet rooms, publicly.
One question about race in the first presidency.
One question about race, and I was hurt. I didn't feel like Joe Biden really defended us. I want to make sure we don't miss the importance of this time. We've never had a political party. We wasn't born Republican and Democrat. We don't even get we don't get talked about. We're not a topic of conversation. And we can stand by and keep on doing the same thing. Yes. Right now, let's stay focused on Trump. But let's start to fight for our futures. And politically, the only way to do that is by what we're doing with our Black Party.
So
now, while Diddy is promoting this Black Party, guess what else is happening, people? Or what's not happening? What's not happening is you're not seeing people come up and be responsible for anything. No action whatsoever. See, why he keeps saying there's only one race question is because you got a known racist in Joe Biden. This man is documented racist. And you're depending on him to love you. It's like this man has been known. Trump is like, let's make a deal. You will get more from a Black man, you will get more from Trump than you would Biden. And that's facts. Is Trump any good? No. But he's a let's make a deal president, which makes him dangerous. He's been and sold the country to somebody else for a month. This is better for us. They only got America in name, but it's still ours. The red, white, and blue flag's gonna remain. It's just that, they just got like 10%. Now we just play their anthem during our sporting events. That's all. You're never gonna notice it. He been and sold you down the river to somebody. The same guy who hated China but had his Donald Trump clothing line.
That's funny.
His clothes
I've seen garbage.
his clothes were made in China. I had a Donald Trump shirt from the Donald Trump clothing line. I had a Donald Trump shirt. Yep. Nobody cared at that time. You know what I'm saying? Nobody even cared. Everybody was going out of the country with their businesses because it was less costly. Now he's president, and he's going to punish everybody for doing it. You gotta have American business. It's like, dude, your business was out of the country too. No, I'm not a supporter of Trump, but he's the president of the United States of America right now. I mean, you can deny it all you want, but he is. So now it's up to him to show and prove and do the things that he said he was going to do in making America better. That's his job now. He's on the clock. So the same way when Biden was in office, they said, well, we don't want to hear about Trump. You're on the clock. And in 4 years, you saw what y'all got for y'all vote. Nothing. Now, what is Trump finna give you for your vote? What is he finna give you for your vote? A bag of nothing. Now, why is that the case? Why do you feel safer with Donald Trump than you do with Biden, when that man is way more dangerous? You see, there is no political decorum with Trump. It's always war and bully and basically dictatorship. And when you start dictating to other countries, you create enemies, violent ones. And this is how supercells are created. They already got a lot of damage, and you doing all these things could activate that. Trump is a businessman, and a bad one at that. None of his business deals were worth anything. He was always bad at it. That's why he got like 3-4 bankruptcies. But he kept getting approved for loans because of his daddy's real estate in Manhattan. Now, listen. The reason why presidents don't do anything for black people is because they don't have to do anything for black people. Because you don't have anything that they need to have to worry about doing something for. See, it goes less, and less each year. Back in the 70s and 60s, we had way more in our possession. We had homes, we had property, we were working towards ownership. They said, give up your house, move into an apartment that you pay rent for, called the projects. They built those projects up in like the 50s and 60s and started sticking black people in them. Then blacks migrated from the west side of Chicago to the south side. So the migration from west side people going to the south side, it wasn't even like that at the time. Wasn't that many people on the south side that were black. It's only a section. And now all those white people basically have moved out of that area and they went to suburbanized areas. And they commuted to work downtown. They said, I cannot live in this city no more. They moved. They put their houses up and they left. And blacks owned all those houses in those communities. But you know what was very interesting? Black family, husband, wife, husband, wife, husband, wife, husband, wife, husband, wife, husband, wife. Every house had a husband and wife and a family. Daddy was home. Daddy was going to work. Mama was going to work. They had houses on the south side. Only in the projects did you see that demise. Did you see that gap? And it wasn't even like that at first. At first, father, wife, man, wife, man, wife, man, wife, man, wife. Then they created welfare. And you couldn't get welfare and food stamps unless the man was not home. They said, get the man out the house and we're going to replace him with a check. We'll give you support, but you can't have a man around. They used to hide people because they used to actually send people to your house to make sure the man ain't home. And if they find out the man is home, they cut you right off. They used to be like, oh man, it's the people. They coming up here. They would go into projects, no problem, in the hood, go all the way up the elevator to the floor, and they can come in your house. They got the right to come in and look around and inspect the house. They will inspect your house, closets and everything, looking for the man, looking for your husband. To make sure there's no man in the house. So women said, cool, I'll kick him out for a check. I'm gonna get this much money? Shoot. Then you start seeing all these single mamas. They don't need no man. What race do they preach that to? Blacks. You don't need no man. Oh, you know I got my Dragon Balls downstairs. But they preach that to us and us only. We're the only ones they preach that to. Nobody else gets that kind of vitriol. They don't never preach to white people. You don't need no man. They sell that to us as that's a good look, to not have a man around. Only us. We're the only ones that's told that. Get rid of the man. He ain't no good. Always. My Dragon Balls. My Dragon Ball fell. Oh, I gotta collect all my Dragon Balls. Yeah. Now, thanks for the super chat. So now you know where it's at. Yes, sir. But who are the leaders in welfare? Who gets the most people on welfare? Who are number one? The number one people on welfare are white people. The number one state for welfare is, wait for it, the number one state for welfare is Minnesota, followed by Indiana. And the only thing black in Minnesota used to be Warren Moon and Kirby Puckett. Minnesota is white. Okay, very white. So white people are the number one recipients of welfare. Will they tell you that? No, because they market it as us. We're the number one. That's what they're going to promote to us. But the facts remain the facts. And buddy, I've seen the people in Indiana that's on welfare. And buddy, they call them poor white trash. Poor white trash. And believe me, they more like poor toxic waste. They way beyond poor white trash. They are poor toxic waste. Now, when you look at the narratives, they want to make it look like everybody's white is like always having a $20 bill in your pocket. That's how it feels if you're black and you see white people with all this success, right? You feel, and you see a white person, you feel like they always got a $20 bill that just come out of nowhere. Whenever they got a problem, if somebody's there to bail them out. For us, we ain't got that kind of protection. I'm probably the highest earning person in my family in history. That's scary because I'm not even a millionaire. Well, probably in assets if I cashed it all in, if I did net worth stuff. But I'm not a millionaire. Grace Mercy. Every time I see your name, you remind me. I gotta take care of that today. I gotta save Grace Mercy. So what Diddy is talking about here echoes a lot into what's going on in his process. Why would the Democrats and the people that go with the Democratic Party come out and defend you when everybody kicked it with you, from Ben Stiller to doggone everybody, every celebrity in the game came out and kicked it with you? Even when you was throwing those parties, they were there kicking it. They didn't think nothing was a crime because it wasn't. Everybody was having a great old time. Meanwhile, the Abercrombie and Fitch guy, him and his male lover, has been accused of messing with over 300 to 400 men, white boys. They white. Not only did he get bail, he negotiated it before they even arrested him. Then he went straight home. He was in jail probably less than 10 minutes. Then he filed and had a case dismissed at home. And Diddy in the same thing there. So when they brought it up on the bond hearing, how in the hell this dude at home for $10 million? And Diddy over here, $50 million, y'all telling him no. He a risk. Risk of what? Throwing another party? He might try to contact the victim, the witnesses. The witnesses? The witnesses to what? You haven't provided any evidence. So how's there witnesses if we don't even have a witness list? Start using your brains, people, and stop going along with this doggone conspiracy theory that they spread on the internet. Look at the facts. Start letting your conscience and your common sense ask questions that they don't have the answers for because it don't make sense. This is not how the law works. It's not how the law is supposed to work. They're manipulating the rules and manipulating the law to take advantage of you, to keep you weak. They know if they control the black vote, they can control you to do whatever they need you to do. Oh, we need the black vote. We need the black man to do this. We need the black man to do that. Okay. But you're not prepared to do anything for the black man. That has to change. Saying, oh, well, we elected this black person. We're going to make her we're going to give her a job. What's that going to do for black folks? Because you hired a black person somewhere. Give us the same thing you gave everybody else. Don't send me Kamala Harris saying, I ain't going to do something just for black people. What that? I have to do it for everybody. We got to include everybody. Why come when we ask for something, it's got to be in a collective cup for everybody else, but when they ask for something, it's exclusively for them? But you think people stupid? You gave the Asians, they wanted the money, they got their money. Ukrainians came and got their money. Y'all didn't include no brothers in for that. Brothers elected Biden in, and we the last one to get anything for it. But I didn't vote for him, so I'm just saying, y'all did. And you're mad at Diddy because Diddy's saying, hey, y'all got to give me something for my vote. Y'all got to give us something. Because that's what it's really about. So because he actively went out and said, I'm going to start a political party.
What impact do you hope to have in advancing our political interests with our Black Party?
You know what it's about is like-minded people being able to have a place that they can meet and they can contribute. Because it's not about one person. This whole thing is set up on unity. Will we be able to finally have Black unity? Because if we don't, we're on the verge of becoming extinct.
So what does Black political power look like to you?
Black political power, it's all rooted in the education, and to be in control of our destiny, not putting it in somebody else's hands that's coming from outside of the community or doesn't have the community's best interests at heart. And that's success. To me, it's the local election. It's not the presidential election. It's the local elections. In our neighborhoods, who's running our neighborhoods? Who are the judges that are being elected into office that's jailing us, that's keeping the same insanity? We got to be able to bang on another sophisticated level. And it's not hard to understand. This is not like a hard sell, but this is the most dangerous thing we could do. This is one of the biggest threats. This in us weaponizing our vote and weaponizing our dollar is a nightmare.
It's good. It's good to hear you say that.
Yeah. You see that? Now Diddy is basically putting a threat out to them saying, this is what we want. This is our 40 acre and a mule talk. Once you telling them you finna slow down money that's normally coming to them for no reason, oh, they ain't gonna like that. And that's how you get an uprising. That's how you get people rising up. That's why people come out of nowhere. And they have these cases. And they have all these situations that appear. And they come out of nowhere, just out of the ground. Right? This is why the scenarios always change. But it's not always for the better. He hit Cassie. Why do people keep bringing that up? Yes, he put his hands on Cassie. Do you want to charge him for putting his hands on Cassie? That's what I want to know right now. Is that what your charge is? Is that what y'all want to do? Let me know. Is that what we doing? Because I want to know, what are we mad about? You've known celebrities that have hit women, shot women, and y'all still supported them. I don't agree with him hitting Cassie at all. But you had people say Cassie went off and hit Diddy too. They hit each other. Nobody should be hitting anybody. I'm not excusing them, but okay. What do you think the charge should be? The most you're gonna get is a fine with no jail time. It's a domestic misdemeanor assault charge, which is no time. Pretty soon, y'all will start to put this thing together. And then y'all will start making sense of it on your own. It's a misdemeanor assault charge domestic case. But the reason that they want to use the film is they want to paint the narrative that this person, Diddy, is a monster. He a monster. And Diddy being a monster is the reason y'all are so active. Y'all so angry. Y'all active, aggravated. Real. He says she was trying to leave. He chased her down, beat her up, and dragged her. What you mean? You heard she hit him. Here we go. First, Rel, you saw an edited video. 2, the reason that he chased her with a towel around his waist is because she had his bag with his clothes in the bag. So his clothes is in that bag. She put his clothes in the bag and was going to. He tried to drag her back. Ended up anyway. See, you didn't see the whole video. See, they try to cut it to make it look like he drug her back to the room. That didn't happen. He was dragging her by her jacket, by the hoodie she had on, not by her hair. Then she stopped in the hallway. She got up. He went there. He rushed her again. He threw a vase at her. He didn't hit her with the vase. He missed. But she left. He yelled at her. She left. He got his clothes. She left. And she was right back with him 2 days later. So if somebody was leaving with your clothes, they got your wallet and everything in it, right? And you got a towel on, why you think he in a towel running down the hallway? Because she got his clothes in that bag. That's why you think he grabbed the bag? They admitted to the judge try to stop the show, baby. She stole his clothes because she was leaving with his clothes and she didn't want him to chase her. They were having a fight. See, real, you gotta understand, this is bigger than that. Diddy, what led to the fight and what led to that whole clothes being taken was the fact that she was out of the country filming Honey 3, where she wasn't even supposed to be the star of the movie. The African black girl that was there was supposed to be the star of the movie, but she wanted to be the star. He got her on the movie. She wanted to be the star of the movie. Diddy pulled some strings, got her song on the soundtrack, got her to be the star, and the girl who's supposed to be the star is the co-star in that movie. Then she started sleeping with one of the damn dancers, allegedly. Diddy wasn't even around her. None of Diddy's people were there. Diddy was in the United States handling his business. She was out there handling her business. And he got her to star in the movie. See, they never talk about all the stuff he did with her. She didn't even live with Diddy. They never lived together. Diddy had a house that she lived in. He bought the house. He owned the house, but she was living in that house. That house is not even near his house. You got to go about 35 minutes to get to her house, at least about 30, 45, depending on traffic, to get to her house. Go look at the date the fight happened at the hotel. And go look at the time she was filming the movie. Honey 3. And she had just came back in the country. And she was talking about that dancer and leaving Diddy. And Diddy found out all the stuff she was doing, which led to a fight. Cassie is not a victim at all. Don't let her fool you. She's not a victim. She's a willing participant in everything that went down, and most of the stuff, she engaged in it. Cassie is out there. Believe me, the Cassie tapes have been everywhere of her playing in front of the camera, being completely nude, doing all kind of stuff. We've seen all these videos and tapes. All you gotta do is go online. She ain't looking like nobody forcing her to do nothing. Come on. She was a freak. She used Ryan Leslie to get next to Diddy. She can barely sing. She can't sing. She was in a cocktail lounge. Cassie was in a cocktail lounge. Cassie was in a cocktail lounge singing at a bar. Ryan Leslie was working for Diddy and came in and handled the business. In the same way they came in here to clap this live stream, Well, the scenarios are always going to change. Mm-hmm. Well, Drake can't help himself. He's stupid, but we'll get to him later.
It's good to hear you say that because, you know, a lot of people initially, when you first said what you said about holding your vote, they immediately was like, Diddy's rich. He wants to see Trump in the White House because it helps rich folks like him. So they thought that you was trying to sabotage the election.
People don't really know me. Like, I'm blessed that I have the money to start this political party. I'm not gonna make no apologies for how much cake I get. You know, that has empowered me, but I know once I get it, I'm going to fund the revolution. I'm a black nationalist. I'm unapologetically black. I have to take care of the tribe first. I cannot sit here and watch. This is my blood family. How you think I'm gonna be? I can't worry about nothing else. I love everybody. But right now I gotta make moves and I gotta use my power for the advancement of black people because we last.
Have you ever even thought about voting Republican for financial gain because of the tax bracket you're in?
No, that money's not all right. All I gotta do is get to action. I don't care if you understand it, you don't understand it. I'm a warrior. I've been in head to head with these folks in corporate America. You know what I'm saying? Like when they ask the question, is there systemic racism? And nobody answers the question. I'm like, yo, now hold on. This systemic racism, they trying to keep their foot on the neck up to my level, up to Jay-Z's level, up to LeBron's level. It's an illusion of inclusion by just a couple of us. So I could sit back here in the crib, but I'm not with that. I'm from that same block. I'm a frontliner. I'm with the smoke at any time, no matter where my address is at. We're in a war. This shit is not a fucking game. Everybody needs to wake up. I'm ringing the alarm. I'm having to start right now to organize and to come together, and so we could build our political army unapologetically for the things that matter to us.
Do you believe?
Now, and that's what got him locked up. Yep, there you go, kid. Do you think the federal government gives a F about Cassie? Huh? You think the federal government is finna come on out and get activated over Cassie? No, they activated to turn you, black folks, against a black man by showing you that him hitting Cassie to turn y'all. Now they can say he did everything and y'all gonna believe it. Then every conspiracy theorist in the world gonna take anything. Look, he got little kids. He got a tunnel. He running up through the tunnel. They got a videotape of Diddy and a 9-year-old boy and all this craziness that don't exist. So when it was time for discovery and the evidence to come out, if they had all this, they wouldn't have went through this whole route. It was like, why did they edit the Cassie tape? And the judge asked them. They admitted in trial. Because they know none of y'all are going to look at the transcripts. Y'all ain't going to look and see what happened in the trial. We did. We went over it right here live on the video and said, why did y'all sit there and send us an edited tape during the bond hearing when he's trying to get bond to get out? They said, why did you edit the tape? Oh, well, we didn't do that. We think CNN, they might have edited it for, their television purposes. We just wanted to show the main points of what happened. I don't think a longer version changes the facts of what happened. No, but it dilutes the context. Because, see, they know they're trying to make it look as if Diddy drug her back, and they said it in the case. That she was trying to leave a freak off and Diddy was trying to drag her back to the freak off. That's what they're trying to make. And they cut and edit the tape in a way to make it look as if that's what he did. He drug her back to the freak off. She tried to leave the freak off. She didn't want anything to do with it. And here comes Diddy. Look how he hits her and just try to drag her back. Knowing that if anybody see that, of course, they're going to be disgusted with it. Because nobody's going to like that. Who's going to like that? Who's going to be okay with a woman getting hurt? And when a black man talk like that, how many of y'all even heard Diddy say that? Not too many people heard him say that. Not too many people knew he started a black political party. He wasn't just blowing smoke. He actually did it. And they shut it all down. Now, when he gets out of jail in May, when he gets home and he's released from jail, everybody gonna owe that man an apology, but they're gonna try to stay away from him like he's a pariah. So they can keep hating, not wanting to push my video. I get it. I'm not saying status quo. I'm not saying what the man wants you to hear. I get it. That's why you got to hit the like button. Super chat works. Cash App is Carcino. It all works. That's how we keep moving. See, they can't take away our dollar, our word. We support what we want to hear. Then you don't have to come out here and cap for the doggone, for the bag, like most of these people doing now. Coming out here lying just for views. I'm like, dog, if you'll sell your integrity for a view? You'll ruin your integrity for a view?
I saw that on the internet when it came out, and I tried it, but I didn't know that was a real thing. Like, how do people even find stuff like that out, bro?
Fam, I got some of the most dedicated fans. They wild. They be on top of everything. They listening close, the music, the lyrics, and they figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Everything about a movement or an interjection into something, people often try to find ways to ostracize everything that you're about. When you see people that step forward and say certain key words and key elements that's supposed to be a movement into something that really matters, you always see those people come along with an excuse after. It's always some excuse at the end of the day that tells you what is what, right? Now, if I wanted to, I can go out right now and I'm a black man with a lot of money in the suburbia, right? Single, no baby mamas, nothing, no disease, nothing crazy. How many white girls do you think hit on me on a regular basis? It happens all the goddamn time. But you have to be able to recognize what it is that you're running up against and what they're really after you for. Do you really like me, or do you like what I have? And you can tell right away. Some of them, they just like you, but they don't like you for the right reasons. They everywhere. They will throw themselves at you. They have no ambition. Because out here, the brothers will take anything. If anybody throw them anything, they taking it. So that's how they think you're just like everybody else. You have no moral compass or nothing. They just like, hey, I'm throwing it till you take it. And I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. So it's not even about the race, period. Because the same way, I'm just using it as an example because that's what I'm surrounded by out here. If I go into the hood, it's the same thing. They be, girl, he got money. You better shake it, girl. These girls out here are programmed to have men take care of them when they have nothing to offer but sex. And they think their sex is enough for them to get on plane trips, to go here and there. And that's why you see most of these young black athletes, they go broke immediately. They have no financial plan because they don't have somebody that's vested in them to say, let's build a family together. No, it's all about come get this sex. If all you can offer is sex, can you cook? Can you clean? I've seen girls on a IG page, they sitting there showing themselves and they draws with their butt out, making left cheek, right cheek in a dirty ass house. I'm looking around in that whole dirty house. I'm like, this house is filthy. They need to get the cleaning person in there ASAP. Well, I felt what Diddy was saying, because see, what Diddy's saying is on point. See, that's why we stay behind the 8 ball. Because we let all these people deceive. Every vote that we ever said we wanted, we let other people change the identity of the vote. We let people change the direction of the vote. We let people say, oh, this is what it's supposed to be. Nah, it's going to be this now. We let people change for us so much that we never use our own brains to wake up and say, hey, man, we got to stop this slide. We're on a slide right now. Look, Cassie was a very sexually active person. I'm not saying Diddy's a great human being. That's how they want you to feel about the situation. Nah. It's weird how everybody is judge, jury, and executioner because Diddy hit somebody. When you have seen people hit their spouse, Dana White hit his damn wife, and ain't nobody saying Dana White should be in jail. He gave her a 2-piece, a kick, and everything, and Dana White went on TV and lied. Then went on the podium and said, well, what they gonna do, fire me? Huh? Well, who's gonna fire me? Huh? Okay, what are they gonna do? Suspend me for 2 weeks? How does that help the company? Huh? He wasn't reprimanded, nothing. He's like, I took responsibility. I said I was sorry, so we moved forward. That was the first time that ever happened. Well, when you get in situations or you get around people who look and feel like they're inspiring a whole different type of feel, no, because it's not inclusion at all. Like he says, by allowing a few of them, it's the illusion of inclusion. And that's how they get you. And because Diddy, and you want me to omit all of the facts I see that's happening and not think this is the reasons why Diddy is locked up, this is the reason this is happening. Like, we were supposed to ignore the fact Monique was being blackballed for no reason. We're supposed to ignore all these facts that was taking place. I mean, you have to realize what is the best scenario for you. especially with said scenarios. People are very particular about how they want to be viewed, how they want to be seen. And once you go through these narratives, you're going to always be the bad guy, no matter what. Well, it's always about how you perceive yourself to be. And if you perceive yourself to be someone that is on the outskirts of picking someone apart and not looking at the facts of the case, yeah, they've lowered his net worth. That shows you how much net worth really means in the world. It's all about being liquid. Stevie J, I don't think I don't think I've ever had a conversation with Stevie J in my life. No, Diddy is, for this here, Diddy's innocent. Diddy didn't do anything illegal here whatsoever. Everything they're accusing Diddy of is a lie. That's why I don't stay out the mix. Well, it's not about saying good things about him. Diddy has done things in the past that has been egregious. But for what they charging him of right now, no, he's innocent. And what is it spearheaded by? It's spearheaded by the fact that they, political parties and agendas and business practices based and driven around race and control. That's what it's about. They don't give a damn about no damn Cassie. They didn't give a damn when she had her records out. They weren't trying to push her damn records. They forced Cassie on everybody on damn GTA. Diddy did everything to push that woman's career. And since she ain't been with Diddy, what's she doing now? Diddy ain't holding you back. Now you on a farm with a damn strength and conditioning coach and realize strength and conditioning salary ain't worth the damn. My opinion, she was a hoe, and that was just it. She hoed her way to the top. You cheated on Ryan Leslie with Diddy, left Ryan out there messed up. Mm-hmm. She cheated all throughout the marriage. Why was you with Kid Cudi? How did that happen? I thought you was with Diddy. So how did you end up with Kid Cudi? Oh, you got caught cheating. That's why Diddy got to go to the studio and down there fight everybody for you. Because you flirt with dudes and then you try to secretly fuck them. Right? The typical Cassie. How did Drake get involved? And then Drake got her. She's the type of girl that gets turned on by having the guys fight for her. You and Diddy went to therapy together. Y'all both was in therapy, remember? Do you want the therapist to bring those notes to the trial? Nobody's justifying an ass beating, dude. How do you hear everything we said and think we're justifying that? I'm not saying she got her ass beaten. She deserved to get beat on. No. If you put your hands on anybody, you're wrong. You've automatically lost. The best thing you could do is just leave her or let her go. That was Diddy's fault for keeping her around. They both were doing drugs. They both was in a volatile domestic relationship. It was a two-way party. Except for they got it on tape when he's putting his hands on her. But she was just as bad. And you've heard other people say that. Now, what this is going to do is mess up Cassie's settlement money. Yeah, see, because Discovery just showed that Cassie's lawyer gave that tape to the defense. The lawyer gave it to them. They didn't get it in the raid. They didn't get it from the hotel. They got it from Cassie's lawyer. And because of that, they have to, the chain of the evidence, they have to, the chain of custody, they have to find out how the evidence came into to be. So it wasn't the raid they got the tape from. As I told y'all, they wouldn't get nothing from them servers at all. That's out. Those servers are out of the country. They can't get those. They have no authority to get those tapes from them servers. That is not going to happen. So everything that Diddy got in that home server, you can forget that. That's bye-bye. I told you, man. What's real is real. Nope, they did a settlement agreement and Diddy gave her back the tape from the hotel. He gave her that tape back and he gave her the sex tape. He had that sex tape of her. She was afraid that Diddy would use it against her. She wanted that tape back. So Diddy said, okay, I'm going to give you the tape back. They negotiated and they settled. And she wanted a settlement for $30 million or whatever. They came to a settlement agreement and he was giving her the tapes. And then she turned that over to his lawyer. Her lawyers turned the tape over to the authorities for them to use that to go after Diddy, which was dumb. Now you put the whole thing in jeopardy with her getting her money. Now Diddy could say, well, the tape is out there already, showing that what happened at the hotel. Man, Cassie was messing around with Drake. That's why Diddy whooped his ass. She messed around with Kid Cudi. She was messing around with a guy that was in Wyclef's thing. She slept with the guy from the Honey, the dancer that was in the Honey video, the Honey movie, whatever, over there in South Africa. She was messing around with him while she was making the movie. Diddy found out from one of the people that was working on the movie, was like, yo, Diddy, I'm gonna tell you, your girl wild. They went to South Africa to film that. Diddy was not out there. She went out there to film the movie. And she stole the lead starring role because she wanted to be the star of the movie. I want to be the star, not the co-star. She had no acting experience. She had no nothing. And he put her as the lead. Then that movie with Terrence J, she was the lead female in that one. She shouldn't even been that one. That's another Diddy job he did for them. Cassie was the worst of the worst. She was no different. Was Diddy cheating on her? Absolutely. They cheated on each other. They did drugs. They fought each other, and they was right back in love and dating each other. So they kind of quit with this it's on film stuff. Dana White whooped his wife on film and 1080p, and nobody said a word. CNN still ain't saying a word. And I mean, nobody's okay with nobody hitting anybody. But I mean, stop acting like you don't know somebody that put their hand on a woman or the woman that put their hand on a man. Y'all see it 24/7 around y'all, and then act like y'all so outraged. I'm appalled. This just blows my mind. I've never seen nothing like this. I'm like, man, slap this dude in his face. I mean, really. So she says, so all of the alleged victims basically out for money instead of admitting that they were willing participants. Here's the thing. We don't even know if they were even there. 99.9% of these people are lying. That we know for sure. Most of them have never met Diddy a day in their life. Every lawsuit Busby got is a lie. All of the lawsuits he got, all the 120 of them are far fraudulent. And those are going to get knocked out of court one by one. Then Tony Busby going to have a lot of problems on his hands. Most of them don't even know Diddy. None of these people are involved in this criminal case. How are you going to have 120 civil cases? None of these people went there to they so disturbed by what happened, they didn't go for criminal charges. Then they got these two women, the women who were bust downs. They got ran through by Kanye and Diddy. Kanye's former manager or whatever she was nothing but a bust down. And they was just high-end hoes. And then she gonna come out and say, we were taken advantage of. We were led into a room and I had this drink. I felt woozy. Well, then that's the opposite of the drink, right? The drink is supposed to make you pass out. But it's amazing. Everybody's had the same drink and they all felt woozy. Everybody was given a drink and felt woozy. They was given a drink, they felt woozy, but they could recall everything that happened that night. That's totally against the effects of the drink. But if you can't recall what happened that night, you won't be able to tell this lie that you're going to tell. Nope, you got banged for money. And because you got banged for money and did all these acts, now he forced you to do it. And he forced me to give him oral down in the parking lot. He forced you, or he just gave him oral down in the parking lot because he was Diddy. Which one is it? No, all these women got a bag when getting banged by Diddy. Then the money dried up and he moved on to other chicks and they wasn't getting no money no more. Now they see an opportunity to get a bag and they're like, hey, he hurt me too. Yeah, right. You're not finna believe some thoughts. Get out of here. And I love when they say, this is not about money. Then what are you opening your mouth for? Because your friend's suing for money. Oh, Kobe. Yeah, I heard about the Kobe statue. I mean, why should there even be a statue of LeBron? It'd be him with a face like losing. They can build a statue for him in Cleveland. That's what they need to do. Yes, sir. Yeah, we spent a lot of time on this. More than we should have spent. But love, peace, and hair grease. Thanks to everybody that hit the like button. It's your boy Carcino. I'm out. Shout us out to Kwame Brown Bus Life. Welcome to HDI TV. Yes, I already made a video to Violetta Wallace earlier today on One Crack News. So